Jim Cunningham with you, and here is Paul Appleby, who will sing the Coronation Mass by Mozart with Manfred Honeck and the Pittsburgh Symphony this weekend. What a concert. We've got Beethoven's Emperor Concerto, Schubert's Unfinished Symphony, and the Coronation, which has not been done in Pittsburgh for 4 decades, 40 years since it was done last year.
It's an amazing piece, and it's relatively short as far as masses go, so you get a lot of bang for your buck.
And it's joyful.
Absolutely. It's one of the most energetic masses I know. One thinks as a singer, you do masses frequently. There's several Haydn masses, obviously Beethoven and Mozart, and it's really surprising to me almost every time I do one, because you think it's all the same text, it's all the same structure of music, and yet for each occasion that these masses were written, they seem to embody completely different atmospheres and energies and messages. And this one of Mozart's, it is less than 30 minutes, as opposed to, say, something like Beethoven's Missa Solemnis, which goes on for over 90 minutes. This one is a mass in 30 minutes, and it is just bursting with celebration, as you might have guessed from the title.
Tell me about your part. What does a tenor sing?
Well, the tenor, in masses, it's really you're a member of the quartet. There's 4 soloists in the chorus, and we're almost more like exalted chorus members. We are brought out of the texture of the chorus from time to time to create contrast and texture within that. And Mozart, of course, deploys us very brilliantly to create a different kind of atmosphere to underscore what I think he thinks the particular text is about, which is what someone like Maestro Honeck really taps into. He gets how the text works, and that the music really all comes from trying to express something about the words. So that's what I think that we do as soloists in the masses.
And the music, you mentioned Manfred Honeck. He is practicing Catholic. This is deeply felt music.
Absolutely.
For him. You don't have to be Catholic to enjoy it.
Certainly not.
But you've got
Sure.
This deep message that's being delivered.
Sure. Schubert wrote many masses, and he was an atheist, and that doesn't take anything away, I think, from the meaning of them to people of faith, and people not of faith too, because the ineffable mystic something is tapped into, just regardless of your belief system, I think. But certainly for someone like him and myself, who comes from a Catholic family, I was just telling you, my family's based at Notre Dame in Indiana. It certainly means a lot too, because we have that tradition. And when you bring someone like Mozart into this tradition, it elevates it, and for me, it collides these two worlds, this world of classical music and then this world of family and religion and tradition, and it's a really unique and special experience for me every time I get to sing something like the Coronation Mass because of that.
It's called the Coronation because it was written for the installation of the Archbishop?
Yes.
We think.
You know as well as me.
We're not sure.
What am I, a music historian
I don't
here?
think Mozart didn't put a name on it, if I remember correctly. But I think it has that regal quality. The sense of occasion is there.
Absolutely. It's a real festival piece.
And the Agnus Dei, that's one spot for the soprano to step out, I guess. So glorious. Manfred said it's one of his favorite moments. But as a kid, he said he put the record on the record player in the living room and really enjoyed the big pieces, the Sanctus, the Credo, the Gloria.
Well, I think that's what makes the Agnus Dei so beautiful and so meaningful, is that it's been such a rather bombastic and celebratory piece for so long. And then if you want to get down to the theological components of it, certainly this very private, intimate prayer that I find Mozart creates in the Agnus Dei, I think is really, really powerful. And it's a melody, too, that prefigures what he used later in Marriage of Figaro. And my favorite aria from that opera, Dove Sono, the Countess's great sort of lament in the third act. So Mozart knew he was onto something good, I think. This came before that, and then he stole from himself later. It was that good.
You and Manfred Honeck have done a lot of great work together.
Absolutely. He is one of my favorite conductors to work with. And in part because he also is so conversant with opera and has worked a lot in opera himself. And so when you come to do a piece like the Coronation Mass here, again, as I was saying, even though the text is the same, and it's not like it's the same no matter what mass you're doing by whatever composer, he really is really sensitive to that idea of the words and what a singer has to do to color them and bring out all the textures and layers of meaning in how Mozart set those words. So I always love working with him because he seems to get the point of view of every single member of the orchestra. He's not thinking about, oh, I need to do this for the chorus or I need to do this for the violin section to the exclusion of anybody else. He's always somehow, his mind is in the mind of each individual on that stage, and in that way he's able to galvanize all of us and to create a really coherent and unified musical performance. So it's always really exciting to work with him because of that.